Hello students, up to now we have completed the 4 tools of database, that is table, query, forms and reports. Today we are going to study about the data model. A database model or a data model defines the logical design and structure of a database and defines how data will be stored, accessed and updated in a database management system. That means this database model is used to define the logical structure of your database. You know that your database includes a number of tables, a number of queries, number of forms and maybe reports. It just defines or it provides the way to store all that data in a logical way. The data model is defined as an abstract model. Abstract means a small model that organizes data description. Data description in table creation, we have seen that data description. While creating any field name, we have described that field name, that is nothing but the data description. Then data semantics. Data semantics means a proper format of arrangement. Properly arranged data is known as the semantics. And consistency constraint of data. Consistency means it should flow in a proper format, and constraints means various conditions or various abstracts of the data. Though there are various abstracts within our data, but our database should be designed in such a way that it should consistently or properly handle all that constraints. The data model emphasizes on what data is needed and how it should be organized instead of what operations will be performed on data. What is the main thing in database model? Data model emphasizes, that means it focuses that what data is needed, what is your essentiality and how it should be organized. What is the proper way to organize that data instead of which operations or which function should be performed on that data. That means functions and operations are not important in data model, but the important thing is the data and its organization. Data model is like an architecture's building plan, which helps to build conceptual models and set a relationship between data atoms. Just like the architecture draws first of all the plan of the building and then starts the construction. Similarly, same thing happens in data model. All the data atoms have their proper relationship with each other, and then it gets organized and stored in a proper way. Data model defines how the logical structure of a database is modeled. That means logically how it will be defined. Data model defines how data is connected to each other and how they are how they are processed and stored inside the system. In data model, it is provided that how every part of that data is connected to each other and how it will be processed. When it will gets processed, when we perform any query or perform any report, that time that data gets processed. Different types of DBMS are available and their classification is done based on the underlying data models. That means different type of data models are used to store the DBMS. DBMS means database management system, and under this DBMS we are storing the data model. There are many types of data models, such as first one is the network model. Network means First one is combined to another, another is combined to third one, like that. Third one is connected to fourth one. Here main atom is A, and this A is connected to B1 and B2. Then this B1 is connected to C1 and C2. Similarly, this B2 is connected to C2 and C3. That means this A is directly connected to C1, C2 and C3. This is the network model. One atom can be connected to any other atom within that model by using such type of structure. This is known as the network model. Then second type of model is the hierarchical model. Hierarchical model means just step by step models or step by step instructions are given. Here our atom is college, our model atom is college, or our key is college, and college gets hierarchically distributed in different things. You know that college having different departments, college having infrastructure. Here only one part is shown, that is department. College having department, departments have different courses, every department have different teachers, every department have different students. Also every course have theory part as well as labs, that is practical parts. Here only a single part is shown. Similarly, teachers, students can have different hierarchical structure, and also infrastructure also having different hierarchy. Hierarchy means just like this inverted tree shape structure. Now let's see this college. College having different departments may be arts, commerce, science, HSVC department. That every department having different courses. Different courses may have theory part as well as the labs, that means the practical part. Arts having different, commerce having different, science having different, and HSVC having all these parts are different. This complete structure is known as the hierarchical model. Then next model is the object oriented model. Here in this example, two tables are shown, employee table and department table. In employee table, attributes, that is the field names. First field name is name, second field name job title, then third one phone number, salary, department number. These are the field names, that is attributes of this employee table. Then here some methods are also used. Get hired and change number. Get hired means from this database we have to find out that how many employees get hired, and if we have to change the phone number of the specific employee, then we can use the method change number, and by using that method we can change the phone number of specific employee. For that purpose this method part is used. Then in department table, attributes are only two attributes, department ID and department name. See here, though we are using two tables, both tables having the different fields, but the most important thing, one field is similar in both the tables, so that we can create the relation in between these tables by using this scheme. Here department number to department number is connected or related, and by through this relation we can perform various types of queries. Then here method use is change department. Department can be changed by using these methods. These methods means, in short, we can say the functions. Get hired, get change number, these are the functions used on these field names. Here change department, this function is used on these field names. This is object oriented model. That means on these objects we are performing specific orientation, that is functions, and by using these functions we can get the output, or we can perform the specific type of query. This is known as the object oriented model. The next one is the entity relationship model. It's simple one. Here our table name is student, and it is this student table having different entities. First entity is by default ID, second entity is name, third entity is address, and fourth entity is age. We can provide a number of entities to a single table. It is not restricted. Just remember that at the center position you have to provide the table name, and all the field names will behave as an entities like this. The next one is the relational model. Here two tables are used: student student ID, then name of the student and age of the student. This table is known as the student table, and second table is the teacher table, where student ID, name and teacher's name are provided. Here in these two tables, student ID, this field is similar. Okay, then here in student table name of students are provided and their age are given. Here in teachers table, student ID, that means for first student, second student, student ID having 3 and student ID having 4th number. These IDs are provided, and these are the names of the subject that these teachers are teaching to these students. Okay, to this subject ID 1, 2, 3, 4. Then first subject ID is 1, and it is Java, and it is taught by Mr. J. Here Miss C teaches C++ with subject ID 2. Here Mr. C hash teaches C# with subject ID 3, and here Mr. PHP teaches PHP with the subject ID 4. Now here student ID and subject ID, these two are the different fields, and we have displayed these fields in the third table, that is student ID, subject ID and their marks. Okay, this is known as the relational model. These two tables gets related on a specific key, and then from that specific key we got the third table. From next lecture we are going to study this relational model in detail. Today's your exercise: what is data model? And second question: which are the different types of data model? Okay, we will stop here today.